R.H. Snow, hail and welcome.
I jumped it too late. I'm sorry. We've been busy all day today, and I just posted my 100th video, and so I was like,
"Oh wow,
gotta go up on Reichler's thing." So I did.
How you been?
Oh, we had a busy day today. My husband, he was in a big wreck in the spring, and this was his 6-month trip, and he just finished all of his PT. And actually, I made a little video about it, and I stuck it on my thing where we actually danced. He actually got up and danced after a major spinal injury, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was like such a big deal to me. So I didn't even do my 100th video about the book or anything else. I did it about life because life is beautiful.
Woo. Guilty Gearhead says, "Hail Snow," followed by Tim Allen saying, "Milady Snow, hail into you."
Tim, I love you. Yay. I see all y'all stellar people up here. Look at all y'all. What y'all been talking about?
South Park.
Really? Oh my gosh. You did that latest one with Kathleen Kennedy. Oh my goodness.
It was so much fun.
Oh my gosh. No, I did. I watched it. I was like, it was brilliant. And in some ways, I mean, it's hard to watch. It's hard because I know people go into the industry thinking I'm going to change the world and it's going to be great. And it is hard. I try not to.
And then they become assimilated like the Borg instead.
Well, that's the thing. All of us need to take this to heart because we're Iron Age creators. Kathleen Kennedy at one point probably started off like one of us. She started off thinking, I want to tell stories. I want to be this person. And we need to remember that too.
I mean, there was like she had like a weird video. I think it was Red Letter Media found it.
Mm-hmm.
Where she was like a hippie, like tree hugger.
Well, yeah. Now, am I mistaken?
So she was always crazy.
Yeah. That's right. Did she do Hurt Locker?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember if she did Hurt Locker or not. I don't remember. I know that it's hard because I hate criticizing other people, but I know that we need to be able to critique ourselves as well. And so if, she's made more money than I'll ever make. But
hold up. R.H. Snow.
Yes. What?
I get what you're saying, but she managed to tank one of the most profitable franchises in the world.
I know.
Fucking Star Wars.
I know, and that's what's so hard about it. Is that she didn't do it on her own. I actually bailed.
Oh no! She does lay the blame on this. She does not get the skirt. She hired every one of those people.
Yeah, this is you see, even before then, this is me. Y'all are gonna hate me. I pretty much never did get on with the prequels. I never really was able to do that because I saw the first set. I saw it in the theater. Like and I've told y'all this before with my father. When I'm 14 years old, I see A New Hope on the big screen, and I'm there for that whole experience. And the finally the hero comes back and everything like that. And because that experience was so pure, and it was at the time, and I saw Han shoot first, and I saw all that stuff, and so I see that experience. And when it starts to change, when they start to try to put in the CGI and take out the scenes where they thought that maybe when they retroactively went back to try.
Well, that was George Lucas, not Disney.
And so I got
Disney never fixed it. Actually, someone I think you can still get it. It's the despecialized edition.
Yeah, you can, and you have to look for it. And so but because of that, I started stepping back early before the prequels came out because I was like, this is my experience with this film. I don't want somebody manipulating my experience and what I remember. And so I started kind of stepping away from it. And I just really never got into it because when we watched it in the theater, the Force was a religious type of experience. It was something that was so unique in that era to see that on screen. And then by the time we get to it, it's the midichlorians and it's everything else.
Well, don't worry. George Lucas, when he introduced
the midichlorians was the only thing about the prequels I couldn't stand.
Yeah, he yeeted that fucking out. You don't get any mentions in the second, third one of that.
Yeah, and so that's the sort of thing that I was like, and I know I have a lot of people that are fans of the prequels as well, especially the big battle scenes and things like that. But so I just sort of at that point, and actually what I would call a fangirl because I saw it with my father, and my father was so dear to me and passed away when I was young. And so I had, like Star Wars memorabilia. I have a teapot. I have a little teapot that's shaped like R2-D2 and a mug that's shaped like Darth Vader's head. No, excuse me, it's a stormtrooper. I have a stormtrooper. And so, and I have all I had all of the memorabilia and things that I could find. And I was consider myself a fangirl. So by the time we get to this point in my life where I'm looking at it, it really hurts to see it. So yeah, I do hold people accountable. This was a vibrant franchise, and going back and destroying people's memories of a franchise of trying to change their experience retroactively.
So R.H. Snow, do you remember? I don't know if it ever came out. I remember the trailer for it. They were doing like a reimagining of the original. This is why they're going to eventually remake the original trilogy. They already done like a prototype with like a reimagined like anime fucking original trilogy.
I really liked Andy Tartakovsky's vision of it, and I'm already kind of partial to that. So I'm not against an animated version if it's done well with good writers.
Oh no! Not an animated version of the original. A reworked, redone, completely changed.
But if you're going to do that, then just make it a Star Wars anime and be done. And make it your own story. I mean, or make it their own story. I would prefer that they don't try to reimagine. You don't need to reimagine it. You can either retell it as an anime, but you don't need to reimagine it, because when we hear those words now, it's fraught with danger, and that's unfortunate. I think that
it's gotten a bad social stigma because of Hollywood lately.
I think so. I think it's really sad, because I've gotten to the point where, because when I first saw Tartakovsky's work, I actually was really excited about it, and I love Tartakovsky anyway, and so I was really excited. Right now, if I heard even if it was Genndy, I would probably be like, do I want to do this? Do I want to see this and ruin my experience with this franchise, with my memories of that fear or my excitement only to be torn apart? And I think that's really it. They're sitting there going, hey, look at somebody you love. And then surprise, the mask comes off and it's really something you don't recognize. And it's that I don't like that feeling of being manipulated. So I think, and I'll say this openly, I think I've missed some good things because I've started to back away from franchises and pieces of work that might have merit because of the whole culture in Hollywood. And that experience of going in and finding things just torn apart because, they've been reworked, reimagined, whatever. And so I'm trying to make myself go back in with my eyes open to see some good things that have been. When I hear there's a good review of somebody, reviewers that I love and trust, and they say, hey, this really wasn't so bad. I'm trying to make myself go in and support those works and support those artists. I don't want to become one of those people that just goes,
you're going to watch the new Hunger Games if Readout says Hunger Games something snakes is good.
I trust, actually, yeah, I trust him. I will say this much. If Readout said, I'd look at him giggling. That's so fun. Look at you little thing. And but there are people that I trust. There are people that I say, hey, they liked it for obvious this reason. And if they say that that's actually a really good movie, I might ought to go see it. Maybe I need to go check it out and see what they have, because there are writers and people out there that really do want to do the right thing. But when you're working in that environment, it can be really hard. We were talking about this with publishing about how, and I think and the same thing, Wrangler knows this, talking about, and Carol Brown said the same thing. You put your work in there and it will come back unrecognizable. People have written great stories only to have them edited so much that they don't recognize the end product. Same thing with films and other things. There may be genuine gems out there that we don't see because we've become so jaded, and I don't want to become that person. But we also have to call out the fact that this culture right now has become a toxic culture to the fans of IPs that have already existed. And I don't want to spend $50 to $100 only to see somebody that hates me, only to have somebody preach to me about how much they dislike me and that I should feel bad for coming to see their movie. So it's really hard for me to work up that joy, and I feel bad about it. At the same time, I'm like, yeah, we need to call this out. We have to do something about it.